Now, welcome back everyone. Now onwards, we are going to start a programming section in this chapter. So, before we start the programming, first of all, we will discuss about the structure of Java programs. So, students, please pay attention. In any programming language, each language is having the predefined structure in which we are supposed to write the program. So, like other language. So like in class 8th, maybe you have done C++ or Java. Those who have done Java, that's good for them. And now those who have used C++ or maybe in class 7th also they have used C++. So please recall the things. For executing the program in a particular language, we are supposed to follow the structure as well as the syntax of that programming language. So here in Java, we are supposed to follow the structure of Java programs. So now in Java, we are supposed to write the whole program within the class name. So always, whenever you are going to start programming in Java, so always the first letter, or you can say the first word of the program must be class. So here we start the thing from this class, must be in small letter, and then after that we are supposed to write the class name. So after class, after each word there is a single space and followed by the class name. After that the opening curly braces. This opening curly braces you can write after the class name also or on the separate line. So here I am showing you on the separate line. So you can use this way only. That is up to you, or in the same line also you can open. So now after that, the public static void main string arg, then a square bracket. So this is the very common two lines. The first is the class, then followed by the class name, then opening curly braces, then on the next line or after the curly braces, opening curly braces on the same line, you can start writing this public static void main. So now initially we will not discuss these two lines because this is the main and the fixed two lines, and these meaning of this you will not understand now, we will understand later. So please wait for some time. Just assume that these are fixed things. So now after this, after the second opening curly braces and before the first closing curly braces, in this part we are supposed to write the whole program. So please pay attention here. So after the second opening curly braces, we are first of all we are supposed to declare the variables. So for variable declaration, you can use one line or two line or multiple lines. That is up to you. But after the second opening curly braces and before the first closing curly braces, each and every line must be terminated with the semicolon, or you can say the punctuator. That's very, very important, right? So this is the terminator point. So now the variable declaration, you can use the single line or the multiple line, that is up to you. I will show you how we are supposed to use the variable declaration in the example. Now after that, we are supposed to write the program on which, or you can say the statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4, statement 5. So these are the program body, or you can say the body of the program. So here the whole thing we are supposed to write as a program. After that, closing, we are supposed to close two closing curly braces. So within the opening and the closing curly braces, we are supposed to write the whole program. Just copy this whole structure in your fair notebook. This is very, very important. And please, while writing the Java program, just remember few points that I am again repeating. Always use the small letters and the letters which I am writing in capital. Always they must be in capital. For example, S of string must be in capital letter. Rest, the class, the public, the static, the void, the main, these words must be in small letter. Now see the example here. So now this is very, very important everyone. So here I am going to tell you the structure of program using the simple example. So in this program, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to write a program to print sum of two integers. So here why I am showing the integer part, because in this program we are going to work on two whole numbers. So this integer representing the whole number, that means we are supposed to use only integer variables, or only you can say the variables which can hold only the whole numbers. So you can use int, you can use long, you can use short, you can use byte also. But apart from all these four, we always prefer the standard variable, that is integer. So now see, the program starts from the class as I have told you. Now the class name. The class name, whatever you want, you can use. Here in this example I am using the add. You can use sum, you can use your name, you can use table, you can use chair, or you can use any other valid variable name. So the name of the class representing the identifier. So that identifier must be valid. Please pay attention everyone. The class name must be meaningful. This is always better for you. Now the opening curly braces that you can put after the add also, or on the same line, or on the separate line, that is up to you. Then after, the public static void main. So while writing the public static void main, please pay attention. Always everything must be in small letter. So now the public static void main, only the S of string must be in capital. Then you can put this opening curly braces after public static void main on the same line or on the separate line. That is up to you. Now, as in the previous structure I have told you, the variable declaration. So you can declare all these three variables on separate line terminated by a semicolon, or you can use the single line declaration as I have shown you in this example, like int. Why I am using int? Because I am going to use integer variables which can hold three integer type variables, right? So now why I am declaring only three variable, why not four? So that depends on the program. As you know, the program is, question is the sum of two integer. So the basic algo or basic flowchart you can recall in your mind for printing addition of two number. So two numbers for the numbers in which you are inputting or using assigning the fixed value, and that one more variable is required for the storing the sum. So a and b I am using as a constant value. So the value you can assign like this, like a equals to this or b equals to 50. So here like this also you can assign some fixed value or the input also. How to take input in a program, that I will show you in the second example. So here in this program, in this example, I am using the fixed value. So now the values I have assigned, a equals to 10 or b equals to 50. So these things you can declare in the separate line also. Now the third variable I have declared s equals to 0. Why s equals to 0? Instead of this s equals to 0, you can skip this part. That is always optional. But better to use equals to 0. Why? Because the default value of whole number, the integer, is always 0. So we assume sometime while operating this type of problem, it takes the garbage value. So better to use the assignment, or you can say the default value. So in the next statement we are doing this s equals to a plus b. So actually we are storing the sum and storing the sum in a variable s. Now see in the next line, these three are four lines are very important. And now in this next four lines I have shown you here the output statement. So now in the input output operator we have discussed only the input operator, or you can say the input statement. But here the second part I am telling you with the help of a small structure, or you can say with the help of a small program. In this I have told you, while using the output statement system.out.println, we are having only two variation, ln or without ln. So system.out.println, in the round bracket whatever we are giving, that you will get on the computer screen. So while using this statement, whatever you are giving in the double quotation mark, those things you will get as it is on the computer screen as a string constant. So now a is equals to, so this part you will get as it is on the computer screen, and after that we are putting the plus sign. So this plus symbol is working as a concatenation sign that shows that after printing the message, we are going to print the value of a. So this plus symbol works as a concatenation sign that shows that after this fixed message you are going to print the value of a variable a. So here in small variable a we have stored value 10. So you will get the output a is equals to 10. After that your control, or you can say that your cursor will move to the next line. Why? Because of the system.out.println. So this println, whatever you are giving in the round bracket, after printing those things, your cursor will move to the next line automatically because of ln part. So now in the next statement again I have used system.out.println b is. So in the second line again we are printing the value of b is. So this time you will get 50 after the equals to, right? So here if you want to print the value of a variable, so simply put the variable name. If you want to print the message, something as it is you want to print on the computer, give in double quotation mark that I have shown you here. Now in the third statement I am printing here system.out.print within double quotes sum is equals to. So now in this part, in this statement, in this line, we are using only the print statement. That means after printing sum is equals to, your cursor will be on the same line but on the next character place. In the next statement I have used sopln, you can say the system.out.println s. So always the printing starts from the cursor position, and the cursor position was after the equals to sign. So after the equals to sign you will get the value of s, right? So now actually after equals to you will get the output 60. That is the value of 60 which you have stored in a variable s. So now this is the program, simple program, and now after that we are supposed to put two curly closing braces. So here this is the simple example which I have shown you here. We are supposed to write in Java. So for execution of Java program, we are supposed to write the program in TextPad or BlueJ. And how to execute that you must be knowing. If you are using TextPad, those who are using TextPad, so please recall, before execution of any Java program, first of all we are supposed to compile that program. So for compilation there is a function of compiler. The function of the compiler is to compile the program, is to convert the program from source code into the object code. So here the object code means the byte code. So byte code your JVM converts. So JVM is the interpreter which is used to convert your source code, your compiled code into the executable code. So now for that we are having a function key control1 for compilation and control2 for execution in TextPad only. For execution, for installing the TextPad, first of all we are supposed to install the JDK in your computer or laptop. Then after we are supposed to install TextPad, right? Or apart from this you can easily install the BlueJ also. For BlueJ, for installing the BlueJ, first install JDK again, then install the BlueJ. In BlueJ is a GUI based interface in which you can easily execute the Java program. So this is all for today class. Thank you so much.